Everybody, guess who's back? Back again.
Ladies and gentlemen, big ups.
Big
Big
ups.
ups. Episode 30 of the Producer Lounge, excuse me. I'm a fool. That was a weird
That one pooped out.
Very cool.
That was cool. This is a music production podcast. We here are all music producers, mainly electronic, but whatever in the box producers, you could say. And this here is our podcast, presented by Always 400, and we like to talk shop here.
Yes, we do,
You
Caleb.
know? Like, what's your favorite use of Multiband? Which we're going to talk about today.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, super
Okay.
exciting.
Okay.
I don't know if you can do anything with multiband, really.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty impossible.
You have 0 options, yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
We will find out on today's episode.
You gonna learn today.
Today's episode of Always 400, the Producer Lounge.
Wow.
So,
Oh, yeah, baby.
like to welcome back our favorite sponsor, Pacifico. Grab yourself an ice cold Pacifico today at your local liquor
That's right.
store.
Bazoonga
So good.
That was on the read.
on the radio. I don't know why they said to say that.
I don't know why
Yeah,
either.
it's not even in their slogan or
but
anything.
I
They're
like
just
the
like,
bazunga.
Yeah.
Bazinga.
Bazoonga. It's not even a Mexican word.
Bazooka. That's a Mexican word.
bazooka.
Bazooka.
I don't think so. I think that's like doesn't matter.
I
'Cause we're
know.
here to talk about
Big
all
dubs in
these,
chat.
all these big things. Big
Number
ups,
one
big dubs.
sub.
Let's go.
Big ups to that guy.
Guy's submissive as fuck.
Before we get into multibanding, is there anything y'all guys want to bring up? Anything fun happened this week in the studio?
Nothing insane. I was working on this one track. I felt like the drop was coming in kind of weird and like losing a bunch of energy. And all week I've been like working on it and like just fixing that up, fixing the build up a little bit.
Trying
and
to caress it.
yeah, and it sounds so much better.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah.
Fuck
I was
yeah.
trying to do one of the things where you like it does like a fake out drop and then kind of hangs for a sec and then goes in, and it just wasn't working for this track for whatever reason. So it just fucking went into it and it's way better. Just
Yeah.
carries itself all
Just
nicely
going
now.
straight into it.
Does anybody else still
Never know
have
until you try.
right? Does anybody else still have like the urge not to do something because of the time it'll take? Like you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to just insert silence here and double the amount of the drop, but you're like, then I gotta like insert silence and like duplicate it and then make the second part of it slightly different.
Everything needs to
Redo
get
all the automated.
redone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
You can't be lazy,
yeah,
Caleb.
I know.
You
No, I
can't.
know. I push fucking through, but
Yeah.
man, it amazes me that it still happens. That I'm still like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, you know, it's gonna be better. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you know it's gonna be worth it. And then like 5 minutes into it, you're like, oh, I can do all these things, and you're all jazzed on it. But it's just like that initial push.
Yeah, it gives you like a little spark of inspiration, and you're like, okay, I can
Yeah,
do this.
right.
Then you do 10 times the amount of work you were bummed to
Right,
do.
right.
Yeah, it's,
But
it's always
it's the little voice in your head is, I don't want to clean my room. Just fucking your room will bang if you clean it though.
sick. It'll
Like,
feel good.
Just bang, dude.
A clean room bangs.
Dude, a clean
Clean
room
rooms
bang,
bang.
dude.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
Hashtag clean rooms bang.
You heard it here first, folks. Clean rooms.
Yeah. T-shirt coming out in September.
Yep.
It's going to take us a while to make.
Yeah, it's a year from now.
Yeah.
So, multiband. I was thinking about this today. I mean, weeks ago. I planned this talk weeks ago. And how, like, I feel like not enough people use multiband. And I feel like I use it on, like, every track now.
I never
And
use it.
I use it from, like a simple... from a simple state, you know, where I just use like multiband clipping, so I just split it, and then I just clip the highs and the like the mid range, which is like super easy. I just do it real quick, just so I know, whatever, and I just do that on basically everything now. So now everything can just get like clipped better, and it's just like a habit for me now. And simple things like that, I feel like not enough people are doing because it elevates your production level. And yeah. And then there's other stages upwards from that, like fun things you can do with effects, like multiband your reverb, or have multiband reverbs or whatever. Like there's so much shit you can do. Like you
Totally.
just have a reverb going into a multiband distortion unit, so the high part of the reverb is getting distorted different than the mid tail of the reverb. Like there's just so much crap you can do. And then even more would be like multiband bass design. Like you have a bass sound that's pretty cool, but it needs to be better, so you can multiband process it. You can process the highs, all fun. You can process the mid, all fun. You can process the bottom end minimally, so it stays clean.
I feel like that would be a good thing to do for mud pies.
Yeah.
Because then, like, as
Yeah.
you're doing everything, it's kind of tight and feels like it's in the same little.
Yeah,
like,
that's how I'll do a lot of bass mud pies is a lot of like start with a sine wave or whatever, and then it immediately gets split into a multiband, and I'll work on the mid range usually first, and then work on the highs, and then usually try and keep the bass as juicy as possible, and then wherever that ends up, sometimes I'm like, well, now I need to like glue it all together with more distortion, and sometimes it ends up good, but if it's just like a one note type of thing, it's never going to be very good. It's got to be like a serum patch or a phase plant patch that has a bunch of envelopes and LFOs causing dynamics to constantly happen. So when it's hitting the distortion, you're getting a bunch of fun moments.
Yeah.
That's how I would do that. But
Hell yeah.
anyways, we can hop on in over to the
Oh, are you gonna give us some examples?
Doskies. Yeah, why not?
Wow. And in Ableton?
Yeah, look at
What?
that, folks.
Look at you mixing it up.
Look, Bitwig makes it too easy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
To do
thinking.
multiband, so we got to use Ableton just to show the peeps how to
Fair enough.
make that happen over in this foreign land
So first, I'm just going.
that people call Ableton.
The ancient desolate land of
This-
Abletonia.
This far right one is the browser volume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
monitoring.
I just can't remember.
Oh wait, no, it might actually be the left one.
No, I think that's the master.
Is that the master? Oh yeah, no, you're right. It is the right one.
I am going to zoom in though, because my Ableton's set super small because I thought it was fun. Classic bit.
Because you hate blind people.
Even though it's zoomed in 122% right now.
Oh damn.
Oh wait, no, that's
Oh, brightness.
where is the
Where-
Middle.
Thank you. Ooh, not too much. There you go. Just a little bit so we can see what the hell's going on here. So I'm going to grab a quick sample from some Boom Bap Labs.
Let's go.
We're just going to do some drums so that we can just...
Get the point across.
Yeah. That's nice. It's got like nice crispy top end. Taters. Nice crispy taters.
Ooh.
It's loud. I'm sorry, folks. Sounds like the beginning to a porn. Wow. Wow. Boom. Dump. 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 Dump.
Fucking feel good time,
Yeah,
baby.
because we're back again.
At
Baby.
the sex lounge.
Ooh. Welcome to the sex lounge. So, let's go.
Sex lounge. Welcome to the sex lounge. Welcome to make some bass sounds today.
Welcome to Sex Lounge. Producer Sex Lounge.
So I'm just going to do it like this.
Sexy Producer Lounge. Yeah. Sexy Producer Lounge.
So, folks listening just on audio, I'm just bringing in Ableton's Multiband Dynamics. Just the super default one. It's not actually dynamicing. I'm going to group him.
Probably don't need to have it playing while we do this, huh?
I like the beat, bro.
I don't want to listen to it over and over again.
So I'm going to take the Multiband Dynamics inside the group, and I'm going to duplicate it 3 times. And we're going to rename high, mid, low. I know you've seen this on a million tutorials, folks. In the highs,
Solo.
There it is. I was like, wait, what's the thing?
Es solo.
We will solo each one of the bands respectively. And now, if we listen to just the highs, we're at 25K and up.
Which, yeah, they're not linked, so you gotta change them separately right now.
Right. Is there a way to link them?
Macro. Macro, the frequency. Yeah.
That's a good call. Well, people can macro. I'm not going to change anything right now.
Okay.
So, people, you can macro your crossovers if you want, so that way you can move them all at once and they don't jive over each other. But for this example, I'm just going to split them so you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to grab M. Oops.
You do want to do that, though. It's like kind of important to be able to move your crossover around.
Right now?
Not necessarily. If the person listening is doing this,
Right.
do macros for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and just save a little rack for yourself so it's just already set up.
Did I not say that?
You did.
Did I not say?
He was
You
just
did?
saying,
Like,
like,
he was
people
just saying
listening,
I was
do
being
it.
clear.
He was doing it
that-
again.
Yeah, I was just being clear that you will want to do that.
Yeah, you
because
will
it's
want.
important.
Yeah, you
Just
will
adding
want your macros.
emphasis.
Yes. So I'm gonna add. I'm not gonna worry about my bottom end. I usually don't, depending on whatever it is. Because for like, if I was using this break, then I would just add. Probably do like a little EQ before this.
Ooh, we are up to 3 viewers.
And
What's up, crew?
We'll just kill that real quick. So now we have the high, and the mid. Which one's which here? All right, I'm gonna switch them around. I like the high on the left. So these are just clippers, folks. They're wave shapers, but audio comes in, and once it gets to this, it clips. So we're basically going to play and watch where they're coming in, and then I'm just gonna clip them off. Oops. I just made a big mistake. There we go. It's Alt.
God, drummers can be so saucy.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now my middle's clipping once it reaches here, and my highs are clipping once they reach here. And already, now if we throw in, actually I think I have it on the master. So let's turn off our, so our snare's hitting like, oh, it's already sounding so much better. That snare clipped sounds real nice. Can even
So we're reducing a lot of the dynamics
Yep.
in the notes and making things a little bit more even across the board this way. It's just giving you more headroom, like a
Correct.
motherfucker, and it sounds nice at the same time.
Yeah, because basically, one, you're giving yourself a little bit of natural distortion, or you're just like naturally distorting it as you're clipping it. And the point of having this multiband rack clipping the mids and highs is you can get your mids and highs louder now, because now there's more headroom, there's less information past a certain point. So now the whole thing can just be pushed, or it can be turned down, and you can still hear it a little bit easier, depending on the context of the rest of the song. But
Yep.
this is a great tool. And for example, now I can push up my mids on the output if I want. Or that's highs, excuse me. I could even push them in and clip them harder. Do a similar thing. But you can see here, it's coming in all the way up here, and it's out. So it is staying even, which is super nice. Even our mids have so much more headroom. So that's a super simple way that I use Multiband on a daily basis. I make this rack and I put that shit on everything, folks.
Oh yeah,
I gotta do that.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't have to do much. I'll just do that to like every hi-hat.
Do a little bit of clipping.
Yeah. Sometimes if it's a super high-endy thing and it doesn't have a lot of mid or even just has a little bit of mid, I guess that's the exact same thing. Then I'll just put one clipper on it and just clip the whole thing.
Same.
But with something that I want to tailor a little bit more, even just slightly, like if it's going down to 500 hertz and has good information around like 700 hertz, 500 hertz, then I'll clip it like this so I can make sure I keep that mid nice and prominent, because the mid range is so important. It's where you get so much energy, and it clipped right means you can just push it louder, and then your song is just a lot louder.
Yeah.
Yeah, easier to get that clarity out of things.
Especially mid-range things in the club are essential. It's like everyone just wants to make the little smiley face style frequency spectrum and just like, I want maximum sub and just maximum hi-hat. Like,
Yeah.
no, you want maximum mid is what you actually want. You want like as flat as you can get.
Without the sub feeling weak.
Right, exactly. If you don't know what that sounds like, listen to like modern drum and bass, like modern Noisia and shit. Like the mids are just fucking in your face, and you watch them on a spectrum, and it's just a complete plateau. It's
Is it,
insane.
huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's so
That's cool.
thick,
Yeah.
and it sounds great in the club. You can hear everything and still hear everyone. It's so weird. Just the mixes are. I mean, that goes beyond more than just getting your mids loud, but getting your mids loud is a good step towards clarity, because in order to get them loud, you got to work your way to a clear mix in order for those mids to really come out. So in the process of pushing your mids, you're going to figure out what it takes to make a cleaner mix,
Right.
as a byproduct.
Yeah. And it'll just sound like so much more pleasant when you're in the club.
Yeah.
Because like when we went to the church, and maybe it could have been their mixing, or maybe just like the sound of the room,
Sure.
But like it was just high end basically, and like sub, so much goddamn sub.
Yeah, just a bunch of tin.
Yeah, and it
And
like tires out your ears really fast because you just hear all this like,
Right. And there was
It's a lot.
Yeah, there was one moment when we moved past those back speakers that it helped a little bit, but it was still pretty sub heavy.
Yeah.
Just
True. Club will do that.
very
The
sub
club will do that.
taily. That's another thing for people to keep in mind. Like print your stuff down to audio. So when you're looking at it like here, like say this right here is an 808, like just, maybe it just needs to do this and just end with the snare drum right there. And then you have all this nice silence and breath before the next 808 comes in. Like that stuff is like, it doesn't always have to just tail off and muddy everything else up right here,
Right. Because like in our studios, if you have like a really clean, tight studio, not a lot of like reverb in it, it feels good to have those longer subs because you're like, oh, it's carrying. It's like it sounds good. This is
Right,
gonna
it
be
helps
sick.
it thicken up the mix. It doesn't feel as weak perceptively. But if you had
Yeah.
more mids, it would feel as weak also.
How would it be like live at like a festival setting? There probably wouldn't be like really any reverb. I guess there'd be a little bit off of like people and stuff, but could
There's
you get
a lot
away?
you get more echo.
Yeah, there's definitely be more echo
More
for
echo.
sure. Because it's it's going all the way to that hill and then bouncing off and hitting that rock face and then coming at you.
Oh, that's
So
true.
it's like constantly just slapping around and shit.
Yeah. So I guess in any setting, then just keep your shit tight. Tighter is
Yeah,
usually
tight
better.
and dry.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
like I know it sounds better with a bunch of reverb on it, but it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
It does and it doesn't.
Yeah. It's an illusion
Like, yeah.
or a paradox or something.
I'm not saying that like I have it figured out. Don't worry, folks. I'm not. I get it.
If it's intended for headphones, perhaps.
Sure.
something like that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, or,
Yes.
yeah. You're
You
like
know?
a bedroom pop artist
Right.
or something.
Correct. I was just gonna say if you're like Jai Wolf or whatever, like slap reverb all over it. Sounds so sexy. Yeah, sure. But like if I hear you live, you better dry up that mix because if you're playing like at the Pepsi Center with all that reverb, unless you're in the front row, you have
Reverb on
no idea.
reverb.
You have no idea what's happening in the room. It's just the whole time. It's like, wow, dude, I'm stoned, and I feel like we're just in an ocean of sound right now,
dude,
man.
it's everywhere, man.
Dude, I can't even tell what's happening, man.
Oh, dude.
It's crazy.
I was in this Twitch chat earlier, and this dude in chat was talking about how he does multi-band sidechaining for stuff. Have you guys ever fucked around with that at all?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah. I mean, the Cable Guy's volume shaper that I use for sidechaining has multiband, basically. So I can
cool.
sidechain everything below 200 hertz or whatever a lot more aggressively than I sidechain everything else kind of stuff, which is usually what I do. I'll usually have like a low and a high, basically. It like dips a little bit fatter from like 300 down, and then 300 and up, everything just gets a real quick, like just enough for the transient of the kick to come through.
Exactly,
and that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you needed up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, because that makes perfect sense. Because just like the high end, at least from a kick, is just that little transient bit.
Right.
Maybe you have some little dusty stuff.
Yeah,
if it's
but
like a hip hop kick,
but nothing needs to get out of the way for that dustiness. It just needs
Yeah.
to get out of the way for that transient.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, like the sub range, which is like the
right, and that's just because the tail of the kick is going to sit right there, so you're going to want a little bit of blend, basically coming back in. So that's why you want a little more on the bottom end, because it's so finicky and can clog up so fast. You got to tailor the music coming back in with your kick.
Yeah, it can get dirty down low real quick.
Yeah, like I used to reference my side chains on the bottom end every track. Now I can kind of get away with just like watching an oscilloscope and just kind of tailoring it until I just see a sausage, and then I'm like, okay, we're good. We're good. You know, even though I don't always need it to be a sausage, I just need to make sure that if there's ever a sub note that happens right after the kick, it just becomes one.
That would be a good topic to talk about, because that's one that still, for whatever reason, I can like never dial in.
Oh, like the fine tuning of a side chain.
The fine tuning of it, yeah. I always get that like weird bow tie thing, and then I never know how loud to make it, because like I see a lot of people will, like, if you're looking at the waveform, it's like a kick, and literally just like the bass will follow it, you know, and it just looks like a big sausage, and I never know to like do that or make it like quieter.
A lot of that is by the end of the mix phase.
Mastering.
Yeah.
The mastering boosts it up.
Once it's all the way done, then yeah, it's going to be a sausage. But when you're just making your sidechain, like, it's whatever. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you shouldn't be so focused on the scope at that moment. You should just be writing the track.
That's fair.
Like, you can worry about the scope once the track is done and you're actually in mixing stage.
Yeah, it specifically has to do with your like sub to kick, like sub level ratio, whatever you decide it to be. It's like
Which is
highly
song to song.
dependent. Yeah, song to song.
And
that's fair.
Depends on like what frequency content is that sub and that kick. Like those are gonna, like, they're more mid, then you can get away with less sub, or you know, whatever. Like there's a lot at play right there, and it all kind of comes in right at the end of like the mixing, because it's all those fine-tuned decisions. Been like, no, the sub needs to be like a decibel quieter. No, I guess half. Yeah, okay, cool, half. All right, whatever. You know, it's all super minor adjustments. Which that's a whole journey, folks.
Dude, yeah.
It's a whole journey.
All right, what else? You're gonna do some more stuff, right?
Yep. Next one.
Oh, wait, I got one more thing, just real quick.
What's that?
Unless you're doing more multiband stuff.
I am doing more multiband.
Okay, yeah, then go for it. I can wait.
Okay. We're going to find another quick little sample, not a break beat. Let's go with something a little more interesting. No.
That was a fun little sample. I feel like AT would be so
go.
hyped on so many of those
I
samples.
know, right?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. This is a little better.
AT, if you're in chat, show some love, baby.
It's not there.
No.
Okay,
That's
so
the
the second stage of multibanding joy will be effects multibanding. So I'm basically just going to grab the same thing that we built, the same rack. And I'm just going to kill the wave shapers. And we're just going to, let's do something fun.
I want to have some fun.
Don't say those words. Let's do like illusion.
A little bit of a backstory for you guys while Caleb's setting this up. The I want to have some fun thing gets under Caleb's skin and Dave's skin a bunch because they did this remix competition a while back. And they were both doing the same remix competition, so they were hearing the same vocals from like rooms apart basically. So for days or like 2 weeks or something, all you could hear is I want to have some fun. I want to have some fun, just over and over and over. So we're all scarred from it now.
Yeah, it was super exciting.
You weren't even there.
I was there.
Yeah, but
Kinda.
you didn't live there.
I didn't live there. I didn't
Yeah.
live there yet. Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, I heard it like
pain. You don't know.
So for this high
It
end
was bad.
for this high end one, I'm gonna do a short, bright reverb, and then for the mid, I'm gonna do like a little bit longer, darker one. Let's see what they sound like.
in the enchanted lands of Abertonia lived 3 kings.
There you go. I want more top end. No. There we go. A little more sparkle happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's dry. It's wet. Oops. Oh yeah, I forgot it. Unsolos when you solo thing in Ableton. So now this is nice. I like this. I like this room. This is actually
It
a
is
really
a
nice
great room, yeah. It's like
What
ballroom.
is this? Spaces damped. This is really nice.
Oh yeah, Mo is there for that. I want to have some fun.
So now, this bottom end isn't doing anything. Great. What I am going to do is I'm going to have some super fun, and we're going to parallel each one of these bad boys so that the high and the mid both have parallel reverbs.
You do this?
Mhm.
Do you multi-band reverb things?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mainly for this thing coming up next, and you have to have it like kind of paralleled up in order for it to like work really fun. But
Be
basically
taking notes,
have
chat.
something like this, and then especially for like a background element like that I want in a space, but I want it to be like interesting, and interesting in the way that you're not going to pay attention to it. It's just kind of like it's like fulfilling the place of a pad, but it's like it's not a pad, basically.
Yep.
Let's just use Ableton Saturator.
Wow.
Hello, my old friend. We are on the highs. So we're just going to absolutely crunch these bad boys.
What a sick sample.
I know, right?
It's like we're in medieval times or some shit.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. Now you got this real nice hiss.
Yeah, it's all fluffy.
And it's all super like fucking wide and in the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and all weird.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll go to the mid.
Oh, that mid-range is so good.
Yeah, it sounds super nice. All right, again, saturator.
Oh yeah, saturated.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, we're doing some multiband fun tips and tricks and stuff. Right now we're running a multiband rack that's been split, and then there's 2 parallel reverbs, one on the high, one on the mid, and I'm saturating them differently to just come up with some interesting atmosphere.
We're getting nerdy up in here. Now it's like a medieval electric guitar.
Right. Oh. Sounds cool.
It's probably adding a bunch of low end.
Yeah. I'm about to EQ it a little bit. I want more like tail on it though. Okay, so now let's EQ a little bit, just on this.
I know, right?
I mean, you could LFO that.
Yeah, right. Create your own little phasery thing.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly less saturation. I feel like it's a little too blown now. Like dry wet or whatever.
Yeah, dry wet on the saturator will probably do the trick.
On the mids. Oh yeah, you're on the mids.
Yeah, what just happened that
just
made it
changed something.
I know. I was like, what just happened that made it
that drastic?
What?
What?
Did you break illusion?
Yeah, I think I broke illusion.
Oh.
Yeah. There it goes.
Yeah.
Let's just try something else. Ooh. So that's interesting. Now you can basically just...
You're still soloing it, I guess, on the mids. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
So that's it. Something interesting.
Yeah.
You could go in and you could blow out all the reverbs and then flatten it down and then slow it down. That's what I end up doing a lot with something like this, where I have a bunch of distorted reverbs that are all kind of tailing and kind of mashing together.
What would you do it on typically?
Like instead of this sample or something?
Yeah.
It would be on some kind of key. That's what I normally like to do.
Guys, guess who's in the building?
Oh, shit.
Oh, Big Daddy P. What's
What
up,
my
boy?
man? Hey, cutie pie.
There's no way I
Pootins.
actually looked that interested.
Yeah.
Stoic Dave.
Something with the dynamics are huge. Like percussion. It's usually like a percussive thing. It's something atonal that's not trying to play like a melody like this is.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But you could do this with like, and on a percussive thing, you do this with like a bunch of delays. Then you're going to end up with like something crazy, especially if you have a macro on all their feedbacks.
Yeah.
And a bunch of cool shit like that. Like now you have a knob that you can just use for a build that's just like it's saturating and increasing all the delays all at once and stuff, and it's all on a multiband, so you have more control, and you could even clip at the end of each one of those, and then you get the benefits of that first rack I showed you guys.
Yeah, one of the things that is really nice about distorting in multiband is if you just distort the mids, then you are adding high end without distorting your high end. So you can get things a little bit more clarity by just distorting the mids and not going too crazy on the high end. I mean, you can always go crazy on the high end too if you want to have them very distorted or whatever. But if you want to keep the high end clean, this is a good way to like add a little bit of nice high end flavor without just completely trashing your high end.
Right, because it's really easy to go crazy.
I get very weary of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Another thing I really like doing with multiband is putting like chorus or like a rotary or some kind of like a widening, like flangery kind of thing on one of them, probably higher mid, just depending on the sound and what kind of the vibe is that I'm looking for. I like putting like a wide thing on just one of them that just makes one part of the sound be like weirdly like
let's try that right now. Let's try that on just like the mids.
Sure.
Wherever my mouse is. Look at that. Chorus ensemble. How fun.
Yeah. Probably.
Where'd it go? All right, Ableton. I want you in front of this.
It's exactly the example. It's doing kind of what I'm talking about. If there was more high end / lower end material, it will make it sound a little bit more. It would also help if we had like
that's so weird.
If you can move the crossover around, you could really pinpoint like an area, which is probably something I would typically do is like go shoot for a specific range that's a little bit tighter that I want to really put that widening on. Yeah, it's just fun doing it. Those little bits.
Yeah, I mean, if we had the macro set up on here, then you could change where the mid range was going and really easily kind of tailor it in there.
Yeah, you could just be like at 800 to 1,000 or 800 to 1,500.
Right.
Sure.
Make it all wide.
Yeah, and like people just get creative with it. You can do.
It's a good way to make space.
It's a good way to make space and just movement, and you can get experimental. Throw some auto pans in there, get some tremolo or like more stereo stuff going down. Like it's just it's a fun extra way to think about things, and that never hurts. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
It's so powerful.
The more you know. So the last example, we're going to bring in a serum patch here. F#0. Look how good I am.
Woo. Wow.
Just a monster.
What was that?
Foghorns, dude, of course.
Let's go. You made those?
Yeah, but I'm going to kill the distortion so you guys could get an idea of like kind of some multiband distortionness that you can do here. So once again, grab a little guy here. What's going on the bottom? Nice and clean. That's what I'm talking about. We'll leave them. Actually, let's do... Oh, Ableton. Your browser blows. I'm going to add an EQ on everything. What? Why do we even have that lever? Okay.
Release the lever.
Release the lever. So I want to fuck with the highs first. And we're just going to do a real easy Saturn warm tube on here. It just kills it.
Crazy how the low end comes through.
Right?
Oh, I guess that's just the tube, huh?
Yeah. I like that. I like that. But we're just going to kill the mix. I just want a little bit of it, and it's giving us enough presence to be fun. Cool. Mid. Let's do the same thing. And everyone's favorite, trash.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait, we have a sound effects board.
Yeah, something just for that.
Oh.
Same one. I'm going to do a little bit of warm tube. Just because it gives, you can hear like the gutturalness that it gives it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Right around this range here. It just like adds some down here or something. It's just nice. I like having it in there. I'll turn it down to like 20%. Now we'll do like a garage. Of course, trash. Trash
Feels
isn't
like
even on.
that's. There you go.
There you go. Saucy. Kill the mix a little bit.
Shit's getting fat already.
Convolve, obviously.
Not that it wasn't from the start.
Kind of sounds like an old submarine sound from like cartoons. Auga!
It's definitely pulling it to the left side a bunch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or like the old timey cars.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. We're making rhythm now, baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the little bit of release it has with that. It's like on the right ear.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a like a little phlegm at the end.
Just sends it a little bit.
So, do that now. We're going to go a little bit further on the mids.
Oh, yeah. We're going
Maybe. If I can spell things right. Or I'll just do this. I have it all kind of set up. I'm going to put this Valhalla in front of this trash. We're going to bring it down. Let's go to ambience. Actually. Just a little bit of body. Just giving a little bit of something. And then we'll hit it with the old. Okay. Wave shaper. Oh yeah, baby.
Let's go.
I'm gonna kind of re-tailor it a little bit. Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sounds sick.
Does sound nice.
What I'm going to do, and folks, I purposely put the EQ in front of my clipper because now whatever frequencies I'm pushing into it or pulling out of it, I'm going to get a different kind of flavor. And now I'm also going to kind of run back to the patch and give it a little more dynamics because I want it to kind of run into this clipper a little bit better.
Let's go.
So we're going to add some just attack. And now we're going to do something like doing the highs to try. We'll see if it works. We're going to clip. We're going to add a sine wave in the middle of this wave shaper.
It's not really a lot of content for it to work with.
No, but I just want that
Yeah, totally. Nice little sizzle.
just right at the end, too.
Yeah, kind of cool.
Now we can glue it with a saturator. And then the moment I've been waiting for. Oops, this needs to be in front of this guy, though. And then all you need is a room, and you got a foghorn.
Woo! Good Lord.
I could even dial him back a little. So that compared to if it was just the serum patch alone
Oh, yeah.
with its distortion.
Oh, my God.
So that's it. Normally it's kind of thick and muddy.
Yeah.
And then you do, yeah, the mids are a little more controlled.
Yeah,
Got a
way
little
more contained.
A little more fun high end. And you can work from here. Now you have this, and everything's at like 20%. Like nothing is at crazy mix levels. So now you can just go through and you start tweaking. This is the technique I learned from Bunshin. This is how he makes all his bass sounds. Is he'll just kind of make a patch arbitrarily, and then he'll just start stacking, 10 degrees of wetness on distortion plugins and just start rearranging them, do different ones. Like here's 3 tubes in a row, and then it goes into a sinefold wave. But if you move the sinefold wave before the tubes, it gives it a totally different like tone on just the mids, and then you can go from there and split the mids even more. There's like you can just continue fractaling down. Folks, multiband, everything.
It's beautiful.
Multiband everything.
I'm telling you, it's the future. It's my future. It's my present.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Give me a little wet.
Wet.
Anything. Thank you. Thank you. Well, do you guys have anything else to add on this? I mean, basically just me showing off some techniques I like for multiband that's unique,
Yeah.
that I don't see a lot of people doing besides like multiband clipping. I feel like that should be in every person's toolkit.
God, right? Yeah, I'm going to start doing it as of today.
Yeah, it's
going down.
It's a little bit harder in Ableton. In Bitwig, it's obnoxiously easy.
Yeah, it's obviously.
Yeah, it's
Bitwig.
yeah, it's retarded.
Way
But
better.
folks, multiband your stuff. Multiband process that shit.
Do it, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty we can say more about this, but we do this show every week
That's right, folks.
for free.
If you're listening to this for the first time, welcome. If you're watching this for the first time, you're not welcome. Just kidding.
Good job, people.
Go ahead, head over to always400.com. All of the links and fun stuff is there. We stream this live every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we'll see you guys soon for more shenanigans, more wonderfulness.
And there will be shenanigans.
Oh, there will be. Don't worry about that button you just heard.
Peace out, bitches.
Bye.